Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Huskers in Enemy Territory. So today I was going to do something sports related, but being that we're going into Memorial Day weekend, I figured I would do a little Memorial Day kind of, I don't know, so much dedication or whatever, but it just was kind of weighing on my mind a little bit. So I figured I would talk about like a little bit of my experience being a veteran myself, and some of my buddies that I lost over the years. Just kind of talk about them. Um, you know, it was just weighing on me a little bit, so I figured I would give them a little bit of my time on my YouTube page. Um, I might cry a little bit. I already feel the tears flowing. It's always something that's weighed on my mind or whatever. But it's something that everyone should be able to talk about. I know a lot of people and a lot of veterans don't really talk about it, maybe as much as they should. But here I go. Recently, I lost a good friend of mine. His name was Jonathan Weaver, and he was actually in my Army National Guard unit. He passed away in January of this past year. Um, we're actually going to do a celebration of life for him. I believe June 12th. So in a few weeks. So it'll be nice to be able to kind of give my respects to him. He was a good friend. Um, just one of those things where you know you just let life happen. Um, you know, maybe people just get too busy and aren't able to see one another. I feel that's kind of the way things kind of go. Being military. Like not, and I know that uh, we were real close. I only lived in Iowa City, and he lived in basically Cedar Rapids. But it's just one of those things where life happens, right? And you need to like really set out and try and talk to your friends and your loved ones, and always have considered like all my military brethren, family. It's it's really um, it's really easy to do because you spend so much time with them. Um, so yeah, so you know, sorry for all the weird um, stops and goes or whatever, but so yeah, so he was a staff sergeant in the army. He deployed to Afghanistan. I believe it was 2012 with 234th um, Red Bull Division out of Cedar Rapids. Um, you know, I, I think he came to our battalion um, maybe 2008, maybe a little bit later than that, maybe 2009. So I kind of saw him when he was an E3, which was a private, and all that mumbo jumbo is kind of weird to me, being that like I was primarily in the Navy. So, uh, but that's beside the point, I guess. We just, we hung out or whatever all the time. It seemed like a bunch of us, and he was a really good friend, and he will be missed. Um, But like I said, this is, kind of a video to just think about them, and the next buddy of mine is Mario Gasper, and he was an electrician in the Seabees with me, and he had passed away in Spain on our deployment over there. He was real quiet, but like what I remember of Gasper was whenever you did talk to him, like he just had like story after story. He was a very he did chat a lot when once you kind of started getting like some stuff out of him. You know what I mean? Kind of like one of those guys. But overall, he was kind of like more of a quiet guy, in my opinion. Um, he was pretty funny too. That I recall. I mean, I was in Charlie Company, and he was in I believe electricians were Bravo Company. So like it was more of a impasse type thing. Where like whenever us carpenters needed electricians or whatever, we'd be like, "Hey, Gasper, get over here, you son of a bitch," or whatever. So I don't know, like type stuff like that. Uh, just because he was like kind of on our level, though, you know what I mean? Like he was an E3, and all the rest of us were like E3, E4s. So like kind of everyone calls it like the E4 mafia, and that was kind of like what it was. We just all hung out, and he was one of the guys that we hung out with. Another one of my buddies, he his name was Eric Knott. He was a steel worker, and he was a real good buddy of mine. And he ended up passing away on our 2004 deployment to Iraq. I believe it was in Fallujah that he ended up getting hit by indirect fire of a mortar, and then the shrapnel ended up taking his life. So that one was pretty hard on me for the longest time, just because like Eric was like one of my good buddies. He would always come over for our movie night in the barracks, and he would just always chill with us. Drink beer, just hang out, and I don't know. It's just like one of those things where it took a long time, and even now, like sometimes it might not be as hard right now, as like my buddy Weaver, but for the longest time, I didn't know really how to talk about Eric, and all that because it was just like such a hard um, like thing to even talk to family or even like the psychiatrists at the VA or whatever. But I think over time, sometimes it just kind of heals the wounds, and talking to people just kind of helps, like this. I think if I could do this, maybe even on Veterans Day, um, do a video about like some of the experiences that I had in the military. Maybe in a way, this will help me like kind of cope with some of the demons that always go on in my mind. You know what I mean? And I don't know if this is kind of the type of videos that you guys want to watch, but I don't always believe that it's about sports and Star Wars and whatever other things that kind of go on. Sometimes you need to have videos out there that kind of talk about real life, and the experiences that kind of mold me for doing this channel. You know what I mean? So maybe this will like kind of give you guys a glimpse into my life. I served in the military for 13 years. I was in the Navy and the Army National Guard, if you guys didn't know. I did one tour in Iraq and multiple tours overseas to like Okinawa, Guam, South Korea, and Spain. So there are a lot of things that have shaped my life, and those things in the military, of course, have shaped my life. I've not say, it's just one of those things I feel like